Join me as I try to predict the best highlights and goals from the Arsenal vs Brighton match before even watching it. What a match we have on our hands today, folks. The highly anticipated clash between Arsenal and Brighton has finally arrived, and I'm super excited to dive into the highlights and goals from this thrilling encounter. Leading up to this match, both teams faced some significant challenges that could have impacted their performance on the pitch. Arsenal were struggling with injuries to some of their key players, including their star midfielder who was sidelined with a hamstring issue. This meant that the Gunners had to rely on some of their younger players to step up and fill the void, which was a big ask considering the strength of their opposition. Brighton, on the other hand, were coming off a string of poor performances that saw them drop down the league table. They were desperately in need of a win to boost their confidence and get their season back on track. However, their recent form suggested that they might struggle against a strong Arsenal side. In their previous match, Arsenal had a disappointing draw against a lower-ranked team, which meant that they were under pressure to get a win against Brighton. The pressure was on their manager to make some tactical changes and get the team firing on all cylinders again. Meanwhile, Brighton's manager was facing criticism from the fans and the media for his team's poor performances, so he needed to get a result to silence his critics. The stage was set for a thrilling encounter between two teams with different motivations and challenges. But how would it all play out on the pitch? Let's dive into the match details and find out. The match started with Arsenal dominating possession and creating some great scoring opportunities. But Brighton's defense was solid, and they managed to keep the Gunners at bay. As the game wore on, Brighton started to grow in confidence and began to threaten Arsenal's goal with some quick counterattacks. One of the standout players for Arsenal was their young winger who caused all sorts of problems for Brighton's defense with his pace and skill. He was a constant threat down the flank and delivered some excellent crosses into the box that deserved better from his teammates. On the other hand, Brighton's striker was a handful for Arsenal's defense, using his physicality and movement to cause problems. He had a few half chances in the first half that he couldn't capitalize on, but he was always looking to get in behind the defense and create opportunities. The first goal came just before halftime, and it was a beautifully worked move by Arsenal. They moved the ball quickly from the back to the front, and their winger delivered a pinpoint-accurate cross that was headed home by their striker. It was a great finish, and the crowd erupted as Arsenal took a deserved lead into halftime. The second half saw Brighton push hard for an equalizer, but Arsenal's defense was resilient and managed to hold firm. That was until the 75th minute when Brighton's striker popped up with a brilliant individual goal. He picked the ball up on the halfway line, beat a few defenders, and slotted the ball past the keeper to level the scores. The game was now wide open, and both teams were pushing hard for a winner. Arsenal managed to regain the lead just a few minutes later when their substitute scored a stunning goal from outside the box. It was a fantastic strike that gave the keeper no chance, and the crowd went wild as Arsenal took the lead again. But Brighton weren't finished yet. They pushed hard for another equalizer, and they got their reward in the dying minutes of the game. A scramble in the box saw the ball fall to their midfielder, who somehow managed to poke the ball past the keeper and into the net. The crowd was on its feet as the scores were level again. The most thrilling moment of the match came in the 88th minute when Brighton's goalkeeper made an incredible save to deny Arsenal's striker a certain winner. The ball was headed towards the top corner, but the keeper somehow managed to get a hand to it and palm it away to safety. It was an incredible piece of goalkeeping that kept Brighton in the game. In the end, the match ended 2-2, with both teams sharing the spoils. It was an absolute thriller of a match that had everything: goals, drama, controversy, and some outstanding individual performances. Arsenal will be disappointed not to have taken all 3 points, but Brighton can take heart from their performance against a strong opponent. That's it for today's video, folks. I hope you enjoyed reliving the highlights and goals from this thrilling match between Arsenal and Brighton. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite moment from the match was, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more match highlights and analysis.